Hey folks, good morning. It's a beautiful early morning here in Dubai, and we're back to flying the PMDG 777-300ER from here in Dubai for a long-haul operation, which is kind of a rarity on this channel, to the beautiful island of Bali in Indonesia. So as you can see, passengers are embarking here, dual jetways from GSX, and baggage is being loaded onto the aircraft, and we're flying the fantastic PMDG 777-300ER in the special Emirates Airlines livery for Expo 2020, which unfortunately, due to the coronavirus crisis, has become Expo 2021. It's been postponed by a year due to the pandemic, unfortunately. But this is the beautiful livery we're going to be flying today. Before we hop in the flight deck, let's go ahead and take a look at our flight plan going from Dubai to Bali for this long-haul operation. Okay, here's our flight plan. We're flying Emirates Flight 32 today, Boeing 777-300ER. Dubai to Bali, our initial cruise flight level will be 330. Total flight plan distance of just over 4,200 nautical miles, and got a nice average tailwind component of 18 knots en route. And we're carrying 250 passengers approximately, and trip fuel 61,637 kilograms, and time en route just under 8.5 hours, 8 hours and 26 minutes en route. And we're going to be releasing with 74.9 tons of fuel on board approximately, which should give us an endurance of 10 hours and 33 minutes. Route of flight today, get it 1 Foxtrot departure, Evoro transition, Mike 677 to Laldo, Alpha 791 to Lakev, step climb to flight level 350 as we burn off some fuel and get lighter. Then November 894 to Telem, Golf 210 to Basla, November 893 to Alpha Alpha Echo, Whiskey 40 to Bodar, November 895 to NNP, Lima 524 to Lambu, Lima 7559 to Put, Bravo 579 to Nutgu. Again, as we burn off some fuel, get lighter again, we're going to do another step climb up to flight level 370, which will be our final cruising flight level. Bravo 579 to VPL, Whiskey 531 to Victor India Hotel, Romeo 325 to Victor Juliet Bravo, Golf 579 to Sierra Juliet, Alpha 464 to Tango Papa Golf, Mike 635 to Udono, and then we'll join the Udono 1 Alpha arrival into Bali. Let's take a look at this route here on the map. So once again, we're here in the United Arab Emirates, the city of Dubai. We're going to take off, do the get it 1 Foxtrot departure out over the Gulf, circle back, fly over the Emirates here, out over the Gulf of Oman, just kind of skirting the southern edge of Pakistan there, and then heading over India, all the way across India into the Bay of Bengal. Then we'll start turning towards the south, overfly the Andaman and Nicobar Islands there, down over Malaysia. We're just going to be passing almost directly over Phuket, another beautiful tropical destination. Malaysia, we're going to be passing to the north of Kuala Lumpur, passing almost directly over Singapore. At Singapore, we're going to hang a left there, continuing over the Java Sea to Indonesia and the beautiful island of Bali. Okay, it looks like baggage loading has completed. The baggage loaders are moving away. Passengers continuing to embark here. You can see the gleaming skyline of Dubai in the background. You've got, of course, the tallest building in the world, the Burj Khalifa. That's spectacular. Okay, let's hop in the flight deck here, and we'll do our departure flows and our departure briefing, and we'll get ready to depart shortly. All right, let's go ahead and do a pre-flight checklist here. Pre-flight checklist, please.
Pre-flight checklist. Oxygen.
Tested 100%.
Tested 100%. Flight instruments.
Heading 029er. Altimeter 1009er.
Heading 029. Altimeter 1009. Parking brake.
Set.
Fuel control switches.
Cut off.
Pre-flight checklist complete.
And let's go ahead and do our departure briefing here. Are you ready for the departure brief?
Go ahead.
Okay, this is going to be a standard left seat takeoff with flaps 15 degrees and reduced takeoff thrust at an assumed temp of 47 degrees. V1 154, rotate 160, and V2 166. I'm using a program called Chaseplane to do my takeoff runway required distance calculations. At an assumed temp of 47, the program is giving us a required takeoff run of 8,925 feet with remaining runway of 5,665 feet from runway 30 left, which is the runway we're going to be using for our departure today. And the weather at Dubai International Airport, winds 330 at 3 knots, sailings and visibility okay, temperature 29er, 2.17, and QNH is 1009er. So pretty nice, albeit pretty hot as well. 29er degrees centigrade converts, of course, to 84 Fahrenheit, which is kind of hot for this early in the morning. But hey, it is Dubai, it is the desert. Okay, and we're located at gate B22 here. Let's go ahead and review the taxi route real quick. We're going to push back facing west, and we're going to taxi via Juliet, Whiskey, Kilo, all the way down to Kilo 16 or Kilo 17 there to hold short of 30 left for departure.
Have a safe flight.
Thanks. So during the departure, for any malfunctions before V1, such as engine failure, fire, loss of control, aircraft unsafe to fly, I'm going to call reject to stop the takeoff, brake, exit off the runway if able, and advise ATC. Any malfunctions after V1, we're going to continue the takeoff and treat it as an in-flight emergency. I'm going to handle the controls and advise ATC, and you back me up with the appropriate QRH procedures and checklists. Assuming everything goes to plan during the departure, we're going to be doing the Get It 1 Foxtrot RNAV departures today off of 30 left. The procedure is to climb on a track of 299er to Delta Bravo 570, then a right turn on a 359 degree track to Delta Bravo 576, maximum 220 knots, about 3,000. Another right turn, Delta Bravo 569, about 4,000. Kupor, about 5,000. Ukrer, about 7,000. Right turn 120 to Vaxab, about 10,000. Left turn Ludev, about 11,000. Onto Gedid, then onto the Ivoro transition. Transition altitude is 13,000, RNAV1 GNSS required. Carry out all turns with a bank angle of 25 degrees and would remain on tower frequency until instructed otherwise by Dubai Tower. Do not climb above ATC cleared level. Initial climb clearance is 4,000, which is what we have set into our MCP here. And this SID does require a minimum climb gradient of 5%, 300 feet per nautical mile up to 8,000 feet. And it is a relatively warm day out there, which we've taken into account in our performance calculations, and it's going to be a relatively longer roll on the runway due to our heavy weight with all that fuel and passengers and cargo, but we've taken that into account in our performance calculations and our takeoff calculations. So we should be all good there. And that's it for our departure brief. Any questions?
No questions.
Alright guys, everyone's seated. We're all buttoned up and ready to go in the back.
Thanks.
If you need anything, just let me know.
Okay, boarding has completed. Doors are closed. Let's go ahead and get things ready for a pushback and engine start here. Cockpit to ground.
Go ahead.
Can we pressurize the hydraulics?
Roger, you're clear to pressurize the hydraulic.
Before start procedure.
Are we cleared to pressurize?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, let's make sure everything is set up properly here in the MCP. Flight directors on both sides. IAS selector here is set to V2 plus 15, 181 knots. LNAV, VNAV armed. Heading to approximately runway heading. That's that 299er actually there. That was the track on the SID. And initial cleared flight, cleared altitude is 4,000 feet. So MCP is set there. And let's set the takeoff trim. Looking for a takeoff trim of 5.5 units. Here we go. Takeoff trim set. Now let's go ahead and request our pushback here. Okay, pushback truck should be moving into position. Let's do our checklist here. Cancel ICAS. Before start checklist, please.
Before start checklist. Flight deck door. Closed and locked. Passenger signs. On. MCP.
V2 plus 15, 181. Heading 299er. Altitude 4,000 feet.
We're ready for pushback.
Takeoff speeds.
V1 154, rotate 160. V2 166.
CDU pre-flight.
Completed.
Completed. Trim.
5.5 units, 0 and 0.
Taxi and takeoff briefing.
Completed.
Beacon. On. Before start checklist complete.
Cabin crew arm slides. Start sequence is 2 then 1.
Check.
Okay, we'll do a quick edit pushback here. Pushback to right about there.
Departure check completed. Bypass pin inserted. Release parking brake.
Okay, let's start the clock. Release the parking brake.
Commencing push. All engines clear. Start and will.
Clear to start. Starting the push here. Let's go ahead and request a start on number 2. Start engine 2.
Starting 2.
Okay, we're going to wait an oil pressure indication here. There's oil pressure. Let's go ahead and move the fuel control switch on engine 2 to
Oil
run.
pressure.
There's N2. Beautiful morning here in Dubai. Beautiful views of the skyscrapers there in the background. And of course this vast, sprawling airport. Incredibly busy one with all this traffic. And we had a light off, EGT coming up, N1 coming up, fuel flow, starter cut out, and engine is stabilizing. Let's go ahead and request a start on number 1. Start engine 1.
Starting 1.
Once again, there's oil pressure, fuel control switch to run on the left engine. N1 coming up, correction, N2 coming up. N1 starting to show signs of life.
Set parking brakes.
Push completed, parking brake set. Beautiful morning here in Dubai again. And of course, this is Flytampa's Dubai rebooted scenery from way back in the day. We're still waiting, I think, all of us in the flight sim community on an update, a version 2, hopefully, of their Dubai scenery at some point in the future. But this is Flytampa scenery with the GSX level 2 SO jetways, which work reasonably well. Although you can see that the SO jetways are unfortunately a little bit offset from where the jetways actually connect to the terminal there, but can't have everything, I guess. Okay, looks like a good start on number 1 as well.
Left is clear. Right is clear.
Flaps 15.
Flaps 15.
Let's check our flight controls here. Full left, full right, neutral, full up, full down, neutral, rudder, full left, full right, neutral. Before taxi checklist, please.
Before taxi checklist. Anti-ice, auto, recall, checked, auto brake, RTO, flight controls,
Checked.
ground equipment.
Clear.
Before taxi checklist complete.
Clear left.
Clear right.
Okay, let's start taxiing out here. We're going to take uniform, actually, to Whiskey, then Kilo. So that's the plan. Okay, parking brakes released. Brake check. Let's go ahead and start taxiing out. And we can of course see an arrival there, one of many this time of the morning here in Dubai. Dubai, of course, is a major hub, base of operations for Emirates Airlines, one of the world's largest international carriers. And if I remember correctly, they tend to stagger a whole bunch of arrivals and departures around certain times of the day to optimize getting people transferred from arrivals out of places like North and South America, etc., to onward to departures for places in East Asia, Australia, etc. It's a pretty interesting model of doing business, especially in this increasingly point-to-point age that we live in today of air travel. I believe there was actually a really interesting Wendover Productions video on that discussed Emirates in some detail. It came out a few months ago. And actually, let's hop on Zulu here until we're past the Fly Dubai 737 there. Before takeoff checklist.
Before takeoff checklist. Flaps.
Flaps 15.
Before takeoff checklist complete.
Okay, before takeoff checklist complete. Looks like parallel arrivals there on 30 left and 30 right, which should be pretty cool to witness. Okay, let's hop over to Kilo here. Zulu 6. was the little taxiway connecting Kilo and Sulu there. Alright, on to Kilo. I do like this Expo 2020 livery for the Emirates 777-300ERs. They've got 3 aircraft that are painted in a similar paint scheme, except the colors are different. So this one is orange. I think it looks the best. They've also got a green and a blue scheme. And I think the colorings are supposed to represent, or the colors are supposed to represent different fields. So green, I think, for sustainability, blue for mobility, and orange for opportunity. Whole bunch of buzzwords associated with Expo 2020, which again, unfortunately, due to the coronavirus pandemic, has been postponed to next year, 2021. Okay, we've had a touchdown of that first arrival there. Both of them look like 777s, actually. And Ultimate Traffic Live has made the first one disappear, but here's the other one about a touchdown. Pretty cool. And of course, you got the cargo apron on the other side. You've got an Atlas Air Cargo 747 taking on cargo on the other side. Alright, let's speed up our taxi here, why don't we? Expedite a little bit down to Kilo 16 for our departure. And sure enough, we've got an unceasing array of arrivals here at Dubai International this time of the morning. Looks like another couple of arrivals coming into 30 left and 30 right there. Although I suspect the first one is already in the act of going around because of the 737 that just took the runway there. And I think that's a Fly Dubai 737. This is one of the things I'm hoping the new Microsoft Flight Simulator really fixes, which is the AI traffic controlling logic and sequencing logic in the sim. Although that other landing traffic might still have an opportunity to get on the ground, given how quickly the the 737 there just rocketed off. But looks like he's already gone around. And that looks like an A380, if I'm not mistaken, coming in to 30 right. Now, it is pretty cool that I think as per the latest update from Microsoft, they're apparently working with FlightAware on integrating FlightAware data into AI traffic sequencing and modeling in the new Microsoft Flight Simulator, which should be pretty cool. Yeah, that was an Emirates A380. Awesome. Okay, Kilo 17 here. We'll hold short. Overshot the taxi lane there just a little bit, unfortunately. Runway entry procedure.
Check. Clear on the approach.
Ready. Alright, we're going to have a nice long takeoff roll here, approximately almost 9,000 feet, but we got plenty of runway here. This is a nearly 15,000 Actually 14,590 foot long runway, so we got plenty of runway to play with here. And of course we do have a pretty long fuselage, so our takeoff roll is going to be our takeoff rotation is going to be very, very gradual. We're going to rotate the nose to approximately 7.5 degrees up and just let the aircraft lift off the ground. And once we've got positive rate, we can then continue rotating. So that's our plan. All right. Takeoff.
Check.
Thrust ref.
Check. Thrust set.
Checked. Disregard. That's ROS.
80 knots.
Checked. Hold.
Check.
V1.
Rotate. Positive rate.
Gear up. Gear up. Beautiful view of that takeoff there. Over rotated a little bit there. Meant to stop at 15 degrees on the pitch. Let's go ahead and turn on the autopilot here. Flaps 5.
Speed check. Flaps 5. Feet to level
Flaps
up.
1.
Speed check. Flaps 1.
Spectacular views of Dubai back there as we continue our departure on the Get It 1 Foxtrot. A little hazy, so we can just sort of make out the Burj Dubai, the hotel, of course, sitting out in the Gulf there. And we can kind of make out one of the Palm Islands back there as well. Pretty cool. And of course, the Burj Khalifa, tallest building in the world, really, really stands out back there. That is fantastic. Okay, let's continue our climb here. Flying offline at the moment, so I'm just going to assume we've been cleared to continue our climb up to our initial cruise of 330. And maximum speed, of course, at our next waypoint, Delta Bravo Dubai 576 is 220 knots. So once we're past that waypoint, we'll continue accelerating to 250, below 10,000. Should have turned on, put the weather radar on the MFD1 here. Just did that. Flaps up.
Speed check. Flaps up.
After takeoff checklist.
After takeoff checklist. Landing gear. Up. Flaps. Up. After takeoff checklist complete.
Okay, after takeoff checklist complete. Let's go to our progress page here. We've got another 141 miles to go to our top of climb And we've got 4,182 miles to go to the beautiful island of Bali. Just a little over 8 hours from now. Approximately 8 hours and 20 minutes, which is in line with what the flight plan called for. Okay, coming up on 10,000 here. There's 10,000. Our fantastic FO is getting the landing lights off on schedule. Let's go ahead and put seat belts to auto there. Okay, we're through transition here. Let's go ahead and set standard. Transition altitude, standard set. Transition altitude, standard set.
Standard set.
Okay, standard set. True transition. We're climbing up to our initial cruise flight level of 330. Another 95 miles to go to our top of climb. 4,160 miles to go to the beautiful island of Bali. 8 hours and 15 minutes from now. Alright folks, thanks for watching so far. Sit back, relax, enjoy some cinematic camera views of the climb and portions of the 8-hour cruise to Bali. And of course, through the magic of video editing, we'll talk to you again in a few minutes as we come up on our top of descent. Enjoy. Okay, folks, welcome back. We've gone through a couple of step climbs en route. We're now up at flight level 370, which is our final cruising flight level. And we're coming up on our top of descent here in just a short 30 nautical miles. Just initiating our preparation here for the descent and the arrival. Where the winds have switched around towards coming from the northwest at the moment, so we're going to be landing on runway 27 via the ILS 27, and so we're planning now on the Udono 1 Bravo arrival as opposed to the Udono 1 Alpha, which we were thinking of earlier. So let's go to the RadNav page here, make sure we've got the correct ILS frequency and final approach course 110.3267. That's correct. Fantastic. Let's go ahead and do our approach brief here. Are you ready for the approach brief?
Go ahead.
All right, the weather at Bali Denpasar International. Winds 350 at 4 knots at the moment. Visibility greater than 10 kilometers. Few clouds at 1,700. Temperature 26, dew point 26, and QNH is 1011. And we're going to be arriving via the Udono 1 Bravo arrival. Let's brief that arrival routing real quick. Actually, before we pull up that chart, let's go ahead and roll our altitude selector here down to 3,000. Let's assume we've been cleared to descent via the Udono 1 Bravo. Okay, let's take a look at the chart now. Okay, Udono 1 Bravo RNAV star. We're coming down Mike 635 here at Udono. Then Udono onto Tiras below flight level 230. Right turn towards CDOT about flight level 170. Left turn to Singa about flight level 140. Left turn again to Cepas below 8,000. And of course, this is the beautiful resort island of Bali. You've got the volcano there that is pretty close to that waypoint Cepas. And Cepas, right turn nearly south heading to Benoa at 3,000. Transition level is flight level 130, RNAV 1 GNSS required. But at Benoa, we're going to expect the ILS runway 27 approach. Let's brief that approach plate real quick. Okay, localizer India Delta Papa Sierra, frequency is 110.3, final approach course is 267. From Benoa, initial approach fix on the final approach course 267, down to 2,500 at 9.7 DME. Then down to 2,000 at our final approach fix of which is at 6.2 DME. Then we'll intercept the glide slope, and then down the glide slope we go. Decision altitude is 265 feet. Airport elevation 14 feet. And visibility minimum of 800 meters. No problem today. And the MSAs within 25 nautical miles of the Bali VOR. It's 9,700 feet to the north, 2,000 feet to the southwest, and 3,000 feet to the southeast. And in case we need to go missed on this approach, I'm going to call go around. And we're going to climb straight ahead to 1,500 feet, then turn left to fly over the Bali VOR at or about 5,000 feet, then intercept the Bali VOR 086 radial outbound, proceed to Benoa at 6,000 feet, or as instructed by ATC. And notes, VOR and DME required for this approach. Okay? And we're going to be landing flaps 30 today. Auto brake setting of level 2, runway 27. And let's take a look at our calculated approach speed here as we've initiated our descent. Inlet ref anticipated to be about 141, probably 140 knots by the time we get closer to initiating the approach itself. But anticipated final approach speed is going to be about 146, 145 knots. And we're going to try and exit the runway on either November 5 or November 6, and then taxi via North Apron to the international terminal here, and we'll park at one of the gates there for the heavies at the international terminal. And that's it for our approach brief. Any questions?
No questions.
Notify the cabin to prepare for landing, please.
Okay.
Beautiful evening here over the Java Sea. That's the island of Java off to the right side of the airplane there. And of course, we had a pretty nice 8-hour cruise earlier. Overflew the southern edge of Pakistan, flew over a good portion of India, out over the Bay of Bengal, the Andaman and Nicobar Islands, just skirted the edge of Thailand as we flew over Phuket, then over Malaysia, directly overflew the magnificent city of Singapore before we flew over the Strait of Karamata, past Sumatra, then down over the Java Sea where we are now, where we're flying alongside the beautiful island of Java there as we head down to Bali. Descent checklist.
Stand by. Descent checklist. Recall. Checked. Notes.
Checked.
Auto brake level 2. Landing data.
VREF 141. Minimums 265 feet.
VREF 141. Minimum 200 feet. Approach briefing.
Completed.
Descent checklist complete.
Just gonna reset this real quick in FS2 crew. There, that's the correct decision altitude, 265 feet, referencing barometric pressure. All right. Still got another 139 miles to go to our end of descent in Bali, and we should be arriving in just about 24 minutes. Okay, there's transition. Let's go ahead and reset the altimeter here. 1011. Transition level. Altimeters reset 1011.
1011 set.
Approach checklist.
Altimeters
1011 set.
1011. Approach checklist complete.
Okay, approach checklist complete.
Cabin crew prepare for landing.
Awesome scenery. Of course, this is just with Orbex Global, but still looks pretty good. Flaps 1.
Speed check flaps 1.
Flaps 5.
Speed check flaps 5.
Let's assume we've been cleared the approach here. We'll roll our altitude selector down to 2,500 feet. And let's go ahead and reduce speed here to 180 for the approach. Beautiful evening here in Bali. There's Bali International Airport, as you can see. And you've got the causeway there, the Bali Mandara Toll Road, which connects Denpasar to the airport. We'll have some gorgeous views of that as we come into land at Bali International. Let's retract those speed brakes. Flaps 15.
Speed check flaps 15.
And we'll go ahead and arm the approach there. Okay, localizer capture there. Localizer. Localizer.
Check.
Let's go ahead and arm the speed brake here.
Cabin is ready.
We'll slow down here to 170. Coming up on 2,500 feet here. And even though we're showing a slight tailwind up here at altitude, once we get down to the ground, that should shift around to coming from the northwest. And it should be essentially calm. Okay, about to intercept the glide slope here. Glide slope.
Check.
Gear down. Missed approach altitude 6,000 set.
Check.
Okay, we'll slow to our final approach speed here. It's going to be 145, VREF 140, final approach speed +5, 145. Flaps 20.
Speed check. Flaps 20.
Flaps 30.
Speed check. Flaps 30.
Landing checklist.
Speed brake.
Armed.
Landing gear.
Down.
Flaps.
Flaps 30.
Landing checklist complete.
Visual.
Checked. Checked.
Landing.
Checked.
Okay, we got a visual. This is Aerosoft's Bali scenery. Beautiful airport this. And of course, up ahead is that causeway that connects Denpasar to Bali International. And we're going to have some nice views of that on final here, and as well we'll get some better views of it during the replay later on of the landing. Alright. Okay, let's go ahead and disconnect the autopilot. And we'll fly it in manually here.
Approaching 27.
Approaching minimums. Minimums.
Let's continue.
$100. 50. 30. 20. 10.
Touchdown.
Speed brakes up. Reversers normal.
$80 knots. Auto
60
brake
knots.
disengaged, 60 knots, and we'll take November 5 here as we exit the runway. Okay, folks, welcome to the beautiful island of Bali in Indonesia. We're gonna pause here momentarily, of course, take a look at a couple of quick replays of that landing, and then we'll come back in, taxi in to one of the gates here, shut down, and we'll call it an evening. Hey folks, welcome back. That wasn't too bad. Floated just a little bit though, at just under 5 feet over the ground for a little ways, which is unfortunate, but we got it down on the ground eventually for a nice soft touchdown. Okay, let's go through our after landing flows here. Let's turn off the weather radar and call for the first officer to clean up the aircraft here. Okay to clean up.
Check.
And let's go ahead and start taxiing down the north apron here to one of the gates at the international terminal. And I might have to boot AI traffic here in order to secure a decent parking spot. Beautiful assortment of tails here. Got Lion Air, of course, Virgin Australia, Thai Air, Garuda Indonesia, of course, Malaysia, Jetstar. Nice smorgasbord of tails representing various countries in Asia and Asia Pacific here. Okay, and let's see here. We're looking for the 777 hash mark. Which appears to be the final hash mark there, so that's where we'll stop. Okay, let's stop it right there. Let's set the parking brake. Make sure the APU generator is on. APU is on the buses. Let's go ahead and stop the clock here, and we'll shut down both engines. Okay, co-pilot going through our shutdown flows. Let's go ahead and request deboarding here. Okay, requesting GSX deboarding there. Have the jetways connected. Let's go through our shutdown checklist. Shutdown checklist.
Shutdown checklist. Hydraulic panel. Set. Fuel pumps. Off. Flaps. Up. Parking brake.
Set.
Fuel control switches.
Cut off.
Weather radar.
Off.
Off. Shutdown checklist complete.
Okay, shutdown checklist complete. That was 8 hours and 55 minutes approximately gate to gate from Dubai to Bali. Okay folks, welcome to beautiful Bali Denpasar International and the beautiful resort island of Bali in Indonesia. This is a really fun flight. Nice to get back to the long haul in the PMDG 777-300ER. On this approximately 9-hour flight from Dubai to Bali. Really enjoyed it. As always folks, hope you enjoyed watching this video. If you like this content, be sure to hit the thumbs up and consider subscribing. Thank you so much for watching. Look forward to catching you in a future video. Y'all take care. Bye-bye.